I will show you my handsome face. Okay, can you see my handsome face?
No.
What no? I'm not handsome, P.4. Good
Hello.
morning. Natawat. Hi, Amonrat. Good morning, everyone. Okay, are you ready?
Yes. Yes. No.
Okay. P.4, no? Okay. While waiting for the others, let's prepare your class book, because we will have a quick review for the plants of plants. Okay. What's his name? Kalapapuk, can you sing? Fiat? Fiat. Can you sing? I can't see Anda. Where's Anda? Anda is still sleeping. Turn on your cameras so that I can call you when I need you. So Pasek, do you have camera?
Yes.
Can you turn it on?
No.
No.
Yes.
Why? Emptied. Emptied, huh? P.4 is that good? Take a big bite. Okay. So first, okay, let's start now. Turn off your microphones and then turn it on only when I call you. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, turn it off first. Turn it off. Off. Off mic. Off mic. Everyone off mic. Fiat. Okay. So I will show you, or I will share my screen first. Where's my screen? All right, this one. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. But I cannot see you. Where are you? Okay. Oh, I can see them. Okay. So, oh, look, what happened? So when I touch this, oh. Wait a minute. That's the problem. Wi-Fi is that good. It's good. Let's make it like smaller. Let's make it.
Teacher
Oh, Anda.
เรียนคอมพิวเตอร์
Yes,
คอมพิวเตอร์
studying computer.
Teacher เดี๋ยวจะเข้า
Yes.
password อีกอันโทรศัพท์แม่
Okay, you turn off your camera and then listen to me, okay? Turn off your mic. First, what is this? Who can read? It's what?
Part of plant
Parts of a plant. So what are the 5 main parts?
flower fruit leaf stem root
Very good. So let's start from the bottom. That is the root. So, good. I told you to turn off your mic if not in use. Okay. So root, or the part of the plant that grows down. Okay, grows down to the bottom or grows down to the soil, into the earth, to get water and food and hold the plants firm to the ground. It is the anchor. Okay, so that it won't pluck easily. So there are 2 types of root systems. These are the tap root and then the fibrous or fibrous root. If you say tap root, it has one main root only. Okay, like this one, the carrot. It has one main root. It can
Hello
be
teacher เนี่ย teacher ลูก
อันดาฟังทีเชอร์ก่อนลูก
okay, you listen first, you listen. Okay, so the fibrous root, it has many roots. Okay, many small roots, not thick and not thin. Next, stem is the stalk that supports the leaf, flower or fruit, and it is the main body of the portion of a tree, shrub, or other plant which is above the ground. That is the body of a plant. So there are 2 kinds of stem. We have the herbaceous and then the woody. If you say herbaceous, these are soft and color green. If you say woody, these are hard, rigid, and woody. The parts of stem, we have the xylem and phloem. If you say xylem, it transports water and minerals from the roots to the leaves. So from the roots going up to the leaves. And then phloem transports food from the leaves going to the rest of the plants. So it starts from the leaves, going to the stem, going to the fruit, going to the roots. All right? Leaf or leaves. A flattened structure of a higher plant, typically green and blade-like, that is attached to a stem directly or via stalk. Leaves are the main organs of the photosynthesis and transpiration. What is photosynthesis? It is the process by which green plants and some other organisms use sunlight to synthesize food or to make their own food from the carbon dioxide and water, and also from the sunlight. So photosynthesis in plants generally involve green pigment, like the chlorophyll, and generates oxygen as the byproduct. So in exchange, the carbon dioxide that the plant used as the food will turn or generates oxygen as the byproduct. In exchange, the plants will give us oxygen. Okay, so chlorophyll, a green pigment present in all green plants. It allows the leaves to trap the light energy from the sun. So the chlorophyll, it is always where? Under the leaves, but we cannot see them. Okay. So stoma, when stoma is open, there is what?
have a sunlight
Has the sunlight. When it is closed,
Don't have a sunlight all
Don't have
night.
sunlight. Always remember that. If the stomach is open, it has the sunlight. But if it is closed, it doesn't have. So transpiration is the evaporation of water from the surfaces of the spongy mesophyll cells in the leaves, followed by the loss of water through water vapor through the stomata. Okay, so it starts from the roots, going up to the stem, and then after that, going out to the leaves, and it will become the water vapor. Water vapor, okay? Oops, not this one. Okay, fill in the blanks. What's the answer here? Plants need roots to absorb. No need to answer in your book because we answered this already. Plants need roots to absorb what?
Water.
Water and?
Water and ether.
Water and anchor? Water and?
And
nutrients in the soil. Roots have air to help increase the roots. What's the answer?
Surface air. Surface area.
Huh? Surface area for absorption. Roots also help to
Ether.
anchor. You say anchor.
Anchor.
Okay, so anchor the plants to the ground so that they do not topple easily or pluck easily when there are strong winds. Some plants, such as sweet potato plant, store food in their roots. Okay, like morning glory, what's the answer? Morning glory plant is what?
Number 2.
What is that?
Number
Protect
2.
the plant from being eaten.
Walk around 3-4 person to get more sunlight.
Okay, how about baobab tree?
Baobab tree.
Stores
Water.
water. Potato plant
Store food.
stores food. Rose plant
Protect the plant from being eaten by animal.
very good. So functions of leaves. Okay, so leaves make food through photosynthesis or fertilization.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. Most of the stoma are found on the upper side or underside of the leaves.
Underside.
Underside. Stoma are usually opened or closed when there is light.
Open.
Open. So the opening and closing of stoma are controlled by guard cells or chlorophyll.
Cancer.
Huh? Guard cells. So transpiration is the loss of oxygen or water vapor through the leaves.
Water vapor.
Water vapor. Oh. Please, mother. Okay. Wait a minute. It's gone. I forgot. Moment. Okay. Okay, so let's watch this first. Okay, so this is the anchor. Okay, so that the plants will get blown easily. That is anchor. All right.
Time! Did you know 90% of the food that humans eat come from 30 species of plants, but the earth has more than 80,000 species of edible. Tune in next time for more fun facts. This is me zooming out.
All right. Next is the flowers. Flowers are reproductive parts of a flowering plant. So they are also referred to as the most colorful and attractive part of a plant. That's why a lot of animals, insects get easily attracted by the colorful of the plant. So what are the functions of flowers? Who wants to read?
Me, teacher.
Go.
For dispersion,
Reproduction.
for dispersion, it acts in surrogate and another animal in to production.
Okay.
Flower produce nectar.
Nectar. So it is the function of flowers, it can reproduce. Okay. And then it attracts insect and other animals in prior to pollination to make them more. And then flower produces nectar, which is the sweet, okay, like the sugar from the flowers. So these are the parts of a flower. And then this is how you recognize the flowers from male, or if it's male or female. We have the stamen for the male and then pistil for the female. The group of stamen, it has the anther and the filament. While in pistil, it has stigma, style, ovary, and ovule. And then outside part of the flower, it has the petal, sepal, pedicel, and receptacle. Petals. Read. Wants to read? Go.
Petal at the insect
Correct.
with the bright colors.
Okay, sepals. Wants to read? No, not you again, Paifa. Let's give chance to other. Wants to read?
Me.
Huh?
teacher.
I will call name. Chachana, can you read this? Sepals. Turn on your mic. Turn on your mic. Chachana.
I can't see.
You cannot read?
I can't see.
You cannot see. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Oh.
Hello, can you see my PowerPoint? Yes or no?
No.
Everyone, can you see my PowerPoint?
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. Sepals, read sepals, Chachana.
Supportive
Special type.
level type of level
Gives.
that
That protects
protected the
flower
flower when
is
is
still
stable or
still a bud.
bud.
Okay. So petals, it is the most colorful or the brightest color parts of a flower. And then it has the sepals. Sepals, it protects the flower or the bud. Next, the parts of the male flower. Who wants to read? Who
Me,
wants to
teacher.
read?
Me, teacher. Me.
Wait, who's that? Kempted again? Kempted and Paifa only? How about the others?
Want to read it easy.
It's easy. Yeah, let's give them chance to read. Who wants to read?
I teacher.
Who? Tanatap, go. Stamen.
contain
Contains
egg of
for reproduction.
reproduction.
Okay, good. Answer. Who wants to read for the answer? Anda. Produces.
Okay.
Eat. Excuse me.
Have COVID.
Oh. Produces
Produces position gap.
pollen grains. Filament. Filament. Who wants to read for the filament? Supakon, can you read filament?
And
Oy, Anda. Not you. Supakon, can you read filament?
Filaments support the answer.
Very good. So stamen contains the egg for the reproduction. This one, okay. Stamen. And then anther produces the pollen grains, which is this one, the top part of the stamen. And then filament, it supports the anther. That is the body of the stamen. Next, the parts of a female flower. Amonrat, can you read pistil? Amonrat. Pistil. Amonrat, this one, pistil. Female. Dito. Pistil. Amonrat, Amonrat. Can you read? Hello? It's not answering. Paifa, you read pistil.
Pistil, female part of the flower, made up of stigma, style, and ovary.
Very good. Stigma. Who wants to read for the stigma?
Me, teacher. Me,
Who wants to read for the stigma?
Me, teacher.
Who's that? I cannot see.
Me, teacher.
me.
Captain.
Has a sticky surface to correct progress.
Pollen grains. Style. Who wants to read for the style? Go, Paifa.
Style holds the stigma upright so that it can easily correct pollen grains.
Ovule. Who wants to read for the ovule?
Me, teacher.
How many students do I have? Paifa and Kemptid only?
Yes.
Paifa, Kemptid, and Panatep only. I have 3 students only.
Yes.
Akon? Huh? How about the others? Try to read. Ovule. Who wants to read for the ovule?
Me, teacher.
Teacher, please.
Kemptid.
Oh my
Contact egg for reproduction.
Okay. Ovary.
Me, teacher.
Ovary.
Me, teacher.
Ovary. Who wants to read for the ovary?
Me, teacher.
Paifa, go. Paifa, go. Paifa.
ovary can contain the ovules
Ovules. Contains ovules.
of yolk from the fruit. After
Fertilisation.
please
Okay. So pistil, the female part of the flower made up of stigma, style, and ovary. And then stigma, it has a sticky surface to collect pollen grains here. Inside this stigma, inside this tube, it has the sticky surface to collect that when when the anther goes inside the stigma, it cannot go out anymore. So after that, the anther goes here. That is the egg. And then style holds the stigma upright so that it can easily collect the pollen grains here. And then after that, it goes down to the ovary. So in the ovary, it has the ovules. And then after that, when they meet, when the pollen grain and then the ovule meet, it will turn into a seed, and then it will turn into fruit after the fertilization. Okay? So it has complete flower, which means like it has both male and female parts, like the rose flower and then the lily flower. Incomplete flower lacks either male and female parts, like the squash flower and corn flower. And then what is the biggest or the largest bloom of flower? What's the name?
Reproductive at
What's that?
Anonda.
Felsia Arnold.
Alondra. Adoda.
Is it Arnolda?
Adaconda.
Anaconda? It's a snake. Why, can you read?
La Felsia Arnold.
Hondo. Adacondo.
What are noodles? Rafflesia.
Adaconda.
Okay. So Rafflesia arnoldi is one of the rarest flower in the world. It has, it can grow up to 3 feet across from this, what's that? From this petal to the other part of the petal. It can grow up to 3 feet. And then it can weigh up to 15 pounds or like 8 kilos, 8 to 10 kilos. So pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from the male part of the flower to the female part of a flower. Most flowers are brightly colored to attract animals such as birds and insects, which help the plants pollinate. Okay, so if you look at this, it has the bee. The bee also helps the plant to pollinate, because when the bee goes to the male part of the plant and then suck the nectar, after that, it can, what's that? The pollen grains can stick or can glue to the body of the bee. And then when the bee moves to the female part, they can do the fertilization. Like this butterfly, from the flower 1 to flower 2. So flower 1 is the male, and then flower 2 is the female. And then after that, they can reproduce another type of plant or another plant here. It can produce the seed, and then after the dispersal, the seed will grow into a plant. So some flowers are not colored. They may rely on wind instead of animals for pollination. So some plants don't have like bright colors. And then if they don't have bright colors, the animals or the insects will not go to them. Okay, so they cannot reproduce using or by the animals and insects, but they can reproduce using the wind. Okay, that is by the wind dispersal. Just like this, the dandelion. The dandelion has one color only, which is white. And then after that, by the wind, it can reproduce another dandelion plant. So fertilization takes place when a male reproductive cell fuses with a female reproductive. So let's watch this.
Hi kids! Today we will learn about pollination and fertilization in plants. So let's start. We learned that all living beings reproduce. That is, all living things give birth to the same kind. And similarly, plants too reproduce their own kind. And most of the plants reproduce through seeds. That is, they produce seeds, which when it germinates and produces a new plant. Let's see how these seeds are produced. We learned the structure of a flower in our last assignment. This is pedicel, which is a green color stalk. Then this broader part is a receptacle, and all other parts are arranged in 4 whorls. Tutway has thousands of animated videos on math, English, and science to clear the core basics of these subjects. The first whorl is of green sepals. Second is colorful petals. Third is stamen, which is the male reproductive part. Fourth is carpel or pistil, which is the female reproductive part. Stamen consists of a long stalk called filament and a swollen head called anther. It consists of numerous very small pollens, which are male reproductive cells. Pistil consists of a sticky structure called stigma, attached to a long tube-like structure called style. And style ends in a swollen part called ovary. And this ovary contains the female reproductive cells, ovules. When pollens from the anther of stamen joins with the ovules present in the ovary, we call it fertilization. Let's revise. When pollens from the anther of stamen joins with the ovules,
Seeds are the structures containing
present in
the embryo
ovary,
within.
it is called fertilization. And fertilization forms the seeds inside the ovary. And after fertilization, this ovary changes into a fruit. That's why seeds are there inside the fruit. Now let's see what is pollination. Pollination is a process by which pollen is transferred from the anther, that is, the male part, to the stigma, which is the female part of the plant, thereby enabling the fertilization and reproduction in turn. Now let's see how pollination occurs or how pollens reach stigma. There are various ways. How do pollens reach the stigma? Flowers have bright petals and strong fragrance that attract insects and other animals. Also, flowers have thin, nutritious honey-like liquids called nectar inside of them that acts as food for many insects. Butterflies, bees, and many other insects feed on the nectar. So they visit the flower to suck nectar. While sucking nectar from the flowers, they are in no way harmed by the insects. Insects feed on the nectar present in the flowers. Clear the core basic from other flower for nectar. Pollens get to the sticky top of the pistils, and by the way of long tubes called style. Pollens reach the ovary where ovules are present, and fertilization occurs, leading to the formation of seeds. So this process of pollens reaching the sticky tops of pistils is called pollination. And pollens may reach to the stigma of the same flower or stigma of different flowers. When pollens reach the stigma of the same flower, it is called self-pollination. And when pollens reach the stigma of different flowers of the same kind, it's called cross-pollination. So kids, we now know what is fertilization and what is pollination. Now we will learn about different agents of pollination. Insects like bees, butterflies, beetles, etc. are the main agents of pollination. Birds and mammals too pollinate some flowers. Wind also acts as an agent of pollination. Water too acts as an agent of pollination. So kids, today we learned about fertilization and pollination. Now go ahead and take a quiz.
Okay. Now I'm gonna show you. Wait a minute. I will add one more slide and then wait a minute. Oh, very slow. Okay, doesn't look that. Oh, why is not working? Can you see it? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Okay. Wait a minute. I'm trying to share.
Yeah.
Share, where is it? Oh, sorry. This one, can you see it?
In our previous video,
you see the
we learned
video?
the fertilization process
Yes.
and seeds grow. The process helps in the formation of fruits and seeds enclosed in them. The seeds are the structures containing the embryo within. Now, all that's required is proper rooting of the seeds in the soil. This will result in germination and thus growth of a new plant. But now the question arises, how are these seeds fixed in the soil? Do they always get rooted near the parent plant from where they arise? Or sometimes at distances as well? Seeds can be dispersed to nearby or distant places as well, all thanks to the process of seed dispersal. The process by which seeds are dispersed to distant places by various agents is known as dispersal of seeds. Who are these agents? Seeds are transferred to various places by factors such as the wind, water, explosion, and animals. These agents make the process of dispersal of seeds easier. Let's now discuss about this process in detail. Our first agent of dispersal is the wind. Seeds of plants like dandelions have parachute-like or hair-like structures attached that are so light in weight that they easily get carried away by the wind. Thus, Even the seeds get carried to distant places. What is the next agent we have in our list? It's water. Fruits which float, such as those of the lotus and coconut palm, are carried by water. You won't believe that coconuts can travel for thousands of kilometers across seas and oceans. Hard to believe, but they do. What is the next type of dispersal? Let me name it for you. It's called the dispersal by explosion. Did I just say explosion? You heard me right. Then what exactly explodes in a plant? In some cases, fruits or pods containing seeds burst on their own. The pods dry and split open suddenly with considerable force, which throws the seed at a distance. What are the examples of such type? We have plants like broom and peas, which belong to this category. Now, these were all the abiotic agents. Last in the list are the biotic agents, which we need to have a look at. Biotic means living organisms. So are animals also responsible for dispersal of seeds?
Yes.
Yes, they are. Tell me one thing. What do we do with the seeds after eating juicy fruits? We generally throw away the seeds, right? Yes, that is how seeds from a plant growing in one area reach a completely different area. Plants are even benefited with the seed dispersal by animals. To understand this, let's take the simple example of birds. Birds also relish on the juicy fruits that have seeds within. In many cases, the seeds of the plants are too tough to germinate if planted directly into the soil. Now, if such a fruit is consumed by a bird, then the seed does not get digested in the bird's body and is thrown away directly. However, the hard seed cover softens a bit due to the chemical activity of the acids present in the bird's stomach. So as the seed passes through the bird's gut, it gets soft, and when it drops on the ground and gets rooted, it becomes easy for the seed to germinate. This is how animals can help in far and wide dispersal of seeds. Can you name some seeds which belong to this category? Blackberry, cherry, apple, and so many pulpy fruits have seeds that are dispersed by animals. Now tell me, why do we need this dispersal process? I mean, what will happen if the seeds from the parent plant get planted near it? Being near the parent plant would severely affect the growth and development of both the plants. And why so? The two will start competing for sunlight and water. That is the reason why seed dispersal is extremely useful for plants.
Nutella แสนอร่อยของข้าวสาลีหมอก
Okay. Now, where is my PowerPoint? Okay, now, do you have any questions about the parts of a plant?
No.
No. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, we will have, or next week, we will have a word wall test. Okay, it's
Sure,
like
what
an
is the
online
word ball
test.
test?
Again,
What is the word ball test?
yeah, wait a minute. Word wall test, or like a quiz, a little bit of quiz. It has like 10 questions only that you have to answer online. Answer online, and then it is, or it will be recorded. Understand?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a test, but online. Okay, I will give you 10 questions and you have to answer it. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. So if, okay, don't write on the screen, please. I will tell you further information next week about the link. I will send it to you, and then I will give you time to answer it. Understand? Teacher Namwa will explain to you further information. Yes. Okay, I will give it to them so that they can answer. Yeah, for the students who did not answer, right? Yes, during the class.
สัปดาห์หน้าจะมีให้ทำควิสนะคะในเว็บไซต์ Word Wall ก็คือเป็นเว็บไซต์ที่ให้เล่นเกมอ่ะมันเป็นเกมนั่นแหละก็คือคะแนนสกอร์ที่เราได้จากเกมอ่ะทีเชอร์จะนำไปเก็บคะแนนนะคะในแต่ละครั้งก็คือ
ทีเชอร์มีเกมหนึ่งที่ผมได้ที่ 1แล้ว25 วิ
ก็คือเหมือนวิชาอื่นก็จะเก็บคะแนนใน Word Wall เหมือนกันนะคะก็คือให้เราเล่นเกมแล้วคะแนนที่เราได้ก็จะนำมาเก็บคะแนนในแต่ละครั้งนะคะสัปดาห์หน้าจะเป็นของ Science
Yeah, that's for the science.
ใช่ค่ะเรามีโอกาสทำได้แค่ครั้งเดียวนะคะเล่นเกมได้แค่ครั้งเดียวเท่านั้น
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now, turn on your cameras and show me your face. Okay, and show me your big smile. Big smile. Okay. Goodbye and
เชื่อ
yes,
เหมือนไปได้แอฟเฟดดี้เวลายิ้มแบบนี้ในที่มืด
English, speak English.
I
Okay, goodbye. See you
lazy.
next week.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank
Stay
you,
safe.
teacher. Bye.
Thank you.